Hey, welcome back to another video. This is going to be about the narcissist's game and don't be their play toy. This has come up a lot recently. It's weird how these topics kind of come up cyclically, or they ebb and flow. But this one I've seen a lot lately, and people seem to have a problem with it. And to be honest, I also did have my own issues with that. Let's see. I got to remember how to use everything here. Okay, first thing is understanding the narcissistic mindset. And I'm going to get into this a little bit more, but I think the key point to remember on this is that you have to understand that they are not approaching the situation the same way that you are. And oftentimes we get ourselves in a little bit of a pickle because we do think that. My little button thing isn't pushing right. The key thing you have to remember is that they are emotionally immature and they are stuck at the age, typically, of whatever their trauma was. So they're emotionally delayed. So as you're trying to approach the scenario, you keep reverting back to your own way of looking at things. And that is just going to end up driving you crazy, because the reality is they're not approaching it the same way. You're trying to rationalize everything that they do based on the way you think about it. So, which is actually my next slide here. Whoops, now I'm going in the wrong direction. The key thing is, it's about them, not about you. And what I mean by that is it's so easy to get into that trap of thinking that everything they're doing is strategically being done on purpose to hurt you. It isn't about you. It's about them. They are doing what they're doing, and whatever happens to you, however it affects or impacts you, is like gift with purchase. It isn't necessarily their end goal. Typically, they're just doing what they want to do, what they think they should be doing, and damn anybody else who is against that or doesn't agree with it. Stop treating them from your mindset. So often we get into this infinite do loop where we think, well, they did this one thing, and if I did this one thing, it would be because of this one reason. Which means if I responded this way, if I did that and somebody responded that way to me, I would have a particular reaction. Now, typically that looks like, well, I will explain to them where they're wrong, because if somebody was able to point out how I'm wrong and itemize it and completely prove the point, I would be embarrassed. I would feel like I got. I would then respond in a way that you're anticipating. When you are treating them from that mindset, you are basically crawling in the mud with them, playing their game at their level, and you don't even know what you're playing. I mean, you think you're playing a strategic game of chess, and they're really only playing checkers. This was a hard one. This was a hard one for me. I'll just bring this back up. Let's see if I point right. No, it's this way. Is it this way? This way. This one right here drove me insane. This is what caused me to argue every point, to respond quickly with not bullet points, with paragraphs of information, thinking about it in the terms of if I was in a game with somebody with equal, in a debate with somebody of equal stature, this is the way it would go. You've got to stop doing that, because the reality is Any attention is a victory to them. We think that if we have an argument and we prove them wrong, that we win. Or worse, and I fell into this as well, you make a point and they go away and you think, aha, I won that argument, and they have scurried. They're not responding now because they know that they lost. And because of that, they are now hiding in a corner, thinking of the shame that they brought upon themselves. That is not the case. What's happened is you responded. They got an emotional reaction from you. You filled their fuel tank up full of narcissistic supply, and in their mind, they won. Again, you have to stop thinking about, let me see if I can get back there. You've got to stop thinking about and treating them from your mindset. You've got to understand that you're playing a game with a toxic person who isn't looking at it the same way you are. And as a result of that, your interactions with them are really just adding into this whole nightmare and isn't helping you because it drives you crazy. I've seen this with people that I've been talking to in the last, actually just this last week, I've had a couple of people who've been in this infinite do loop. And you're fighting the fight from your perspective. What you got to do, let me get back over to this. You've got to focus on you, on your life, on building your peace, and stop focusing on them. And I understand how difficult this is. This is part of that whole ruminating thing. This is whenever you get in that infinite do loop and you just can't stop asking the question of why are they doing this? Why do they keep doing this? Why do they keep doing that? It doesn't matter. They're doing all this stuff because they're emotionally immature. They're stuck at like 7 to 8, I'm going to say 8th grade. Like 7 or 8-year-old mentality. And you're trying to deal with somebody who you think has the same mindset as you, the same values as you, the same empathy as you, the same feelings that you have. And what you don't realize, or what you're failing to remember, is they are fake people. All the things that you've seen them do in the past was mimicking behavior, mirroring behavior to try to do the right thing, to accomplish, to basically try to fit in and to have the illusion of being somebody they're not. But at the end of the day, they don't have the empathy. They don't have the emotional maturity skills. They don't have the guilt feelings. They don't really care about anybody or anything other than themselves. That includes the kids, you, anybody else. And if you take a step back, more than likely you're going to see examples of that over and over again that are proving that point to you. We just don't want to see it. Again, you have to focus on getting that distance from them. Focus on rebuilding your life. Focus on finding peace and protecting that at all costs, which means when they start trying to get you to play with them, and that's either by poking you in the eye. And so that can be poking you in the eye on bills. It'll start out with you. It'll be, messing with you with money. It will be saying things that like you don't get, you never cared about the kids if it's kids, anyways. So you don't want this information. What they're trying to do is get a response. And what's going to happen is when you say, oh, okay, I get that, and you stop that, they try something else. They keep ramping it up. And then it'll move to the kids, or it'll move to somebody else that they think that they can manipulate or they can do things to get you to come back and argue with them. And I fell for that multiple times. I don't know how many times. Once I started realizing that, oh, okay, I have to basically do no contact or hybrid no contact. I didn't know about that at the first part of it. And when I got to that point, then she shifted to try to pull me back in. And then once I figured that part out, then she would do things to the kids. And the kids would tell me, and then I would be upset, and then I would reach out. It's all part of their game. Don't like if I can get back to the main slide. Don't be their play toy. You have to stop yourself from engaging with it because you're playing their game by their rules, and you're just beating your head against the wall. You got to stop doing it. Anyways, I'm going to wrap this up. I hope that made sense. If you can relate to that, put that in the comment below. The magic word of the day or the video, if you want to show that you watched it till the end, is postcard. Postcard. Every time you guys put comments or put the magic word in the comments, it just makes me smile. So I appreciate you playing my little game. All right, hang in there. This takes time. It's not easy. It's very frustrating that it's not easy, but you can master this and you can minimize the chaos that they bring to your life. All right, I'll catch you on the next one.